Okay, so it's officially confirmed now that Yuke is the ones behind the upcoming AEW wrestling game, which I kind of speculated about this in a video I did. I think it was may have been a week ago, when AEW Games announced that they got they had this special event coming, which ended up being revealed today, and then they end up announcing different games like AEW General Manager, like any AEW Double or Nothing, I guess is like a spin-off game as well. And then like they saved the big one for last, the full-on reveal of a full-on AEW console game, which they had a bit of a teaser, and then in the teaser it was revealed that Yuke is indeed behind it, which in the video that I did on this topic in particular, I speculated that Yuke would be a good fit. Now granted, Yuke had been a part of 2K for years, and honestly a part of me wants to say that Yuke was not the problem at 2K. 2K was the problem. I don't even think Yuke was the problem. I think it was mostly because of 2K and the shit that they were doing with it, and the fact that when they got the games that they wanted like the 2K wrestling games to be more simulation and less arcadey, kind of like how it was for all of the SmackDown versus Raw games, even the WWE 12 and 13 games, where they were arcadey in nature. And they kind of wanted used to kind of grow apart from that, I guess would be a lack of a better term. But little did 2K realize that that type of style that Yuke was known for was something that they excelled at. Now they tried to get more goofy later on down the line with 2K19, but at that point, you know, the series had grown stale and stagnant, and a lot of people by that time was not really fucking with the 2K wrestling games at all. And the reason, and I think another reason why the 2K wrestling games wasn't really well received from a lot of people, including myself. Like, honestly, I did not thoroughly enjoy any of the WWE 2K wrestling games except 19. 19 was like my favorite one, but that is an extremely low bar, and that's not even me saying the game was good. That's just me saying the career mode was at least decent compared to the rest of the game. I couldn't really speak much on it beyond that. 2K14 was not really that good at all, and you get in 2K15, 2K16, 17, they had a career mode, but it was too simulation-y. Like, it got extremely stale and boring. I did not care. And then they introduced this promo system where your character couldn't talk, but you got these, like, I don't know, dialogue options that pop up, and it would look weird. It would kind of look like that your mic, that it would kind of look like that if a wrestler was cutting a promo, his mic would cut out and he's just, you know, running his mouth, but there's no audio. It was really weird how they did that, and I did not understand the move behind that. Now with the other ones, with 2K19's career mode, I actually liked. I did like the direction that they were gonna head for that career mode. I was gonna give 2K20 a shot, but the simple fact that Yuke wasn't a part of it, and also coupled that with the fact that I seen some gameplay, the game looked like it looked very terrible. Like, it looked graphically terrible, and it also had a lot of technical issues from what I heard. And I also seen like footage of it like glitching out, bugs all over the place, and I knew I wasn't gonna get it off of that because I got a real strong tolerance for stuff like that, and I just knew I was not gonna touch that game with the 10-foot caliper. Even if I was giving that game for free, I would not even touch it unless it was for review purpose. But at the same time though, like, here's the thing, right? 2K19's career mode was a step in the right direction, but the simple fact we had to wait to 2K19 to at least have a decent career mode but still have a shit everything else, it's just beyond me. And I think the one main culprit, one main thing we could attribute to this happening is the simple reason 2K had no goddamn competition. They had no goddamn competition, and it's the rule of business. If you ain't got no competition, why bother even trying? When you have no competition, there's absolutely, positively no point in you trying to actually have your developers make a good wrestling game, especially since that there really hasn't been any competition in the wrestling market space when it comes to something that would compete on the level of WWE 2K, to where 2K would want to kind of like look at it and say, okay, we need to respond in some type of way with this next one. And then on top of that, if that ain't bad enough, Visual Concepts had 2K21 canceled. So I'm worried about Visual Concepts. I wouldn't be surprised if 2K shuts them down. Now, mind you, that could be saying a lot. They could bring in somebody else. They could get in touch with THQ Nordic and give them the WWE IP, which I would thoroughly enjoy. And also, depending on how good this AEW game does, I honestly would like to see a possibility. Now, I don't think it would happen, but especially if they make AEW games. If they start making AEW games, WWE ain't gonna want shit to do with them. But I think if it's just a one-time thing and years down the line per se, I can see a scenario in which THQ Nordic somehow reacquires the rights to the WWE games, get in touch with Yuke's, and say, hey, let's get the band back together, and they end up, going from there at some point. Because honestly, unless 2K does something radically different, I can't see 2K changing. Now, there's time between now and the time this AEW game comes out, but I guarantee you 2K better be watching AEW. They better be watching this game very closely, because if they don't think that this is going to be competition in any way, means, shape, and form, they are going to be sadly mistaken. Because this could be Yuke's way of saying, hey, look what we can do. Look what we can do without 2K. This is our game, not 2K's game, not the gotcha bullshit. This is our game. This is what we want to make. This is how we want to make it. This is some shit that 2K didn't want us to make type shit. And honestly, if this thing bows well and it ends up selling well and it gets in high demand to where we get different AEW games possibly every year, every other year, I don't know. But if that was to happen, hopefully 2K by that point can find a suitable developer to make a really good wrestling game and have it something that the fans want. Now, granted, it's like I say, when it comes to the wrestling games, we're extremely critical because there's a very low bar and it's so easy to get over that bar. It's pathetic. And they would have to do something that would actually be something that competes with an AEW game. Like I said, depending on how good it does, depending on how much we like it, fuck with it. They just need to know that AEW's here, and AEW game is here, Yuke's is here, and they're coming to your house. So you better be watching. You better goddamn be watching this game. Because if they think for 1 second this game ain't gonna do good, and granted, it's just a teaser, it's not a lot to go off of, but I digress. We will be able to see what they can do. Now, I'm not saying that Yuke's is doing this independently. Possibly, maybe, I don't know. But if they are, then that's nothing short of amazing. But like I said, if 2K needs to watch this game. If they don't watch this game, they're going to end up paying for it to the point where they want to, hit the alarm bells and talk about how much they care about the WWE 2K community, even though we've been asking for a GM mode since the dawn of time, but that's neither here nor there. But anywho, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments about a AEW wrestling game. Do you think Yuke's has what it takes to make a good wrestling game now that they're not under the 2K umbrella or the 2K empire, dictatorship, whatever you want to call it? But until then, I'm gonna talk to you guys later. Peace.